evening, everybody. Welcome for game number 2, the Cincinnati Reds and the Boston Red Sox. Dave O'Brien alongside Lou Merlone. That will include a very unique wardrobe look as well. Wait till you get a look at Jemai Webster in a couple of moments. This would have been Dick Stockton. This would have been Hawk Harrelson, a couple of legends in their own right. There were legends all over the field when they met in that series.
6 Hall of Famers in that series. And if you're a kid from Framingham and you grew up in this area, this was the era of the Red Sox that you remember, right? This was, whether it's Carlton Fisk, Dwight Evans, Fred Lynn, Jim Rice, all across the field, and of course, Kari Yastrzemski. These are my guys that I grew up with, Obi, and I tell you, this is one of the most historic series in Red Sox history. I know they didn't win it, but you feel like this was a start of something.
What do you mean they didn't win it? Bob Montgomery and Rick Wise are going to be joining us. That'll be in the second inning. Jim Rice coming your way in the fourth. Couple of innings, you will see graphics packages very similar to 75. A reminder just how far coverage of baseball has come over the years. So very happy reminders coming up. And Richard Fitz on the mound looking for his first major league win in the 11th start of his career. Red Sox and the Reds on the way next. Let's toss it down to that sharp-looking gentleman, Jemai Webster.
Thank you very much, Dave. The 1975 World Series was a pivotal moment in the sport's time, and as we do our best to try and recreate that, here's a look back at that fall classic between the Red Sox and Reds. In the early 70s, baseball was in trouble. TV ratings were sliding and ballpark attendance was falling. Then came 1975. 2 teams, one legendary, one hungry. The Big Red Machine against the Red Sox, and the World Series that saved baseball. Cincinnati's all-star squad was unstoppable, but Boston, they weren't backing down. The Sox had El Tiante. Louis Tiant threw 2 complete games on guts and flair, then lit a victory cigar. Blow for blow, the Sox kept fighting back. Rain delays stretched the series over 10 days. Fans waited. Hype boiled over. Fred Lynn brought the house down in Game 6. Pinch hit, bottom 8, 3-run homer. Bernie Carbo tied it all up. 12th inning, Carlton Fisk hits the home run. He waves it fair and waves himself into the history books. Back and forth chaos, extra innings, instant classic. They called it the greatest game ever played. Yaz gets the Sox on the board early, securing the lead, and then 10 hits, nonstop grit, MVP energy. Pete Rose went all in. Down 3-0, Cincinnati stormed back. Joe Morgan's single in the 9th won it all. Over 75 million people watched the World Series. Game 6 became the most rewatched game in history. Baseball mattered again. 6 Hall of Famers took part in that World Series, as well as Pete Rose, who could be on his way. Much more on the telecast later on tonight about that. We're going to keep on trucking, getting funky for Game 2. Richard Fitz on the bump versus Brady Singer. Old school Dave and Lou on the mic when we get back.
Coming from the 75 crew, going to join us in the booth. And guys, I can't tell you how thrilled we are to have both of you. I've watched you for many, many years.
Oh, please.
Both back here and here. So, and this man won 19 games that year. So what you're saying is in 75, there was controversy at the end of a postseason game for the Boston Red Sox. So we would hear that again in the very near future after that.
Possibly.
Couple different times.
I'm sorry you had to hear it from me. But.
right.
That was a big one for sure. And here is Cincinnati here. It's kind of apropos, but yeah, that was really my greatest game ever.
And Monty, you were actually the opening day catcher in 1975.
Fisk had got hurt in spring training, and we had maybe 3 or 4 games left. They got hit with a foul tip. And I don't think he played for maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that. So they was stuck with me.
Fenway, but the tarp is on, and we are in an official rain delay here at 8:02. But a wonderful opportunity for us to talk with a Hall of Famer, the great Jim Ed Rice, one of the Gold Dust twins, coming in 1975. Only drew 102 RBIs that season. That's all. So the first question is, I know you're asked this all the time. I know you are, but I've never asked you this question. 75, if Jim Rice is in that lineup, don't the Red Sox win the World Series?
I think you're 100%.
No question.
Yeah, I think, I think Cooper and Benicas sort of were filling in for me, and I don't know what they were, like maybe 2 for 17 or something.
Didn't have analytics in 75.
Keep it on the line.
Didn't have thin ties. Didn't have the lapels. Didn't have a lot. I got new respect for you and what you had to wear back in the day.
I didn't wear.
You never wore anything like this. Before we go to break, can you tell me? He started telling us this, and the rain came in. We're talking about platform shoes. Used to have, we all did. I had platform shoes, right? Guys wore. They were in high heels, but they were not far off. Mm-hmm. You had a pair of shoes with a goldfish in the sole?
Some guys had.
Come on now.
Some guys had.
They actually had shoes that had goldfish swimming around inside of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, sir.
That's too much. None of it happens without my favorite catch of all time. That catch, going away, turning around, having the presence of mind to throw it. We've got it here. When you look back on that, do you remember every moment of it?
I do, and it was a scary moment. all of the moments of it. The ball usually curves towards the line, and that one did not curve. Morgan hit it, and it stayed straight. And I turned to my left and was going towards the line, but the ball stayed behind me, and I lost it for about 2 or 3 feet. And it wasn't the prettiest catch I ever made, but it was the most important catch I ever made. And you know what Fisk said after the game? He said it was a lousy throw. That's what I was going to say. It was a lousy throw. And I said, the first thing I looked at when I turned around, hit the fence, turned around, I looked up in the lights. I looked up, and that's like looking in the sun.
Right.
And so I was blinded, and I just threw it in that direction.
You got it in.
I got it in.
And they got the out. After you hit that, is it almost a blackout moment as you're waving it fair, or do you remember those moments as they happen?
It's really amazing. I don't really remember the pitch, when he went like that. But I remember the swing, and I remember being on the on-deck circle with Freddie. For some reason, I was hitting the head of Fred. I don't know why. Why was I doing it?
Because I didn't play.
Yeah, well, that's true. I wish you were playing. I'll tell you.
You'd have won if you had him. No doubt about that.
Even if he went 0 for the series, his presence would have made guys pitch differently, and strategies would have been different. Even if he went 0 for, we could have sure used you for sure. But we're on the on-deck circle, and I said, Fred, I don't know. I got this feeling. I'm going to hit one off the wall, drive me in. I've never said that in my life. Never. But I did, and then 2 pitches later, it's a home run. And Fred goes, hey, what's this about driving you in? You didn't even give me a chance.
You want to take the pressure off him, right?
Yeah, I did. Yes, I didn't want you to pop up. So.
But kids around New England were imitating that wave for years to come.
It's not just around New England now.
And our celebration of the iconic 1975 World Series between the Red Sox and Reds continues. Take you back in time for just a little while today, just the 4th inning. Rather fittingly, rain interrupted the series as it did in the 75 World Series. And for the 4th inning, we cover the game in a very similar style to broadcasts of the 70s. Last 70, 50 years, there are a few things we have all become accustomed to watching baseball. And we are going to keep that score bug up there and continue with a retro feel. Otherwise, toss it down to Jemai Webster.
Well, thank you very much, Dave. This is the 3rd Red Sox game that is a suspended one for the 3rd consecutive season that they're taking in. A couple notable ones over the last few years. Danny Jansen's history maker in 2014, where he played with both teams in the same series. And then, of course, 2019, you can all not remember, or not forget, I should say, Brock Holt's walk-off against Kansas City in 2019 that took 12 minutes. But for Red Sox manager Alex Cora and company, the approach remains the same, and the objective is always the same: try to go out and win a ball game.
We're up 1-0, and we got Bello, so shut down inning right away and then go to work. They're going to use their bullpen. They'll mix and match. We know that, but just play it as it is, and we should be okay. We're about to see, but I think, it's a clean inning. It's the 4th inning. Go 6. Help us out, that's what we're asking for. We had I mean, the 27th man is in the second game, and where we at pitching-wise, it makes sense to go with him right now.
So Brian Bale gets to start in inning number 4. He's been really good his last 5 or 6 starts. 4 quality starts in his last 5 outings. Red Sox looking for him to do that once again here this afternoon in game 2. And the 27th man could possibly be Cooper Criswell, but that is not until game 2. So they're hoping for Bale to go 5 or 6 innings, maybe then hand it off to Aroldis Chapman and finish this first one, guys.
Got to be honest with you, Jemai, I miss the 1970s shades big time.
Well, you know what? Here we go.
They're always handy.
How about that to finish off the outfit for you?
That definitely completes the look.
All right.
So you're still in 75 mode. This
I am. What do you guys look like up there, Lou and Dave?
Yeah, you know, we've moved on. Ran right out of the gate. You see some of these rates. 48.8 hard hit percent rate. I mean, these are some elite numbers. 18.9 chase. He's not expanding. He's taking his walks. And now, as I said, he's finding green and he's getting hits out of it. So coming today here, now we got Brian Bayo, right? Starting this game. Technically, it's not a start. We understand that. So he's coming out of the bullpen, but his last 5 starts, all quality. He's been throwing the ball real well here for the Red Sox. And I would think you come in here in the 4th inning, maybe you score a couple of runs, you finish this whole game, give the bullpen off. If not, 5 strong, maybe hand the ball to Chapman. But you're looking for Brian Bayo again to pound the zone, use this cutter that he's been using a lot, and keep working on this changeup that's starting to look a little bit better.
Sox taking the field behind Brian Bayo, and you can't help but feel for Richard Fitz.
Oh.
Is he ever going to get a win at the Major League? He will. His stuff's too good, but boy, he's been unlucky. 3 innings. 2 hits, 1 run yesterday, and because of the rain, he does not come back. So Bayo coming on at 3-3 with a 341 earned run average. He'll pick it up here in the 4th inning with the old-fashioned graphic look, at least for the 4th inning, between the Sox and the Cincinnati Reds. And there's an old-fashioned box score for you. Does anybody study box scores anymore? This is what you and I love the most about last night's telecast. Swinging a high fly. That is deep to left. Duran looking up, and that's gone. Up into the monster seats. Steer with his 10th home run of the season. That's a 2-run shot. And just like that, Cincinnati has the lead.
Well, again, you go back to that 0-2 walk here to Lux to start this thing off. But Steer's been hot. On Monday, he was named Player of the Week. In 404 in his last 12 games, 4 home runs. He's been swinging it. And this one here looks like that little cutter that he's been throwing a lot of, but you start at inner half, it ends up right over the middle of the plate.
Jose Trevino will look at a strike. He's lined to center 0 for 1 in this game. Another look at the home run swing.
And this kid can swing it. Really getting hot. 8 extra base hits, now 9 in his last 13.
So here we go, top half of inning number 5. That's the old graphics look, and now we're going to go back to the future. And there's your current day NESN and our so-called graphics package.